So SNL celebrated its 50th anniversary tonight, but back in 1995, it almost didn't live past its 20th anniversary, and it was largely because of one really influential New York Magazine story. The story came out in the spring of 1995, and at this time, SNL was struggling. Its ratings were down about 20% compared to 2 years prior, and tickets to go see it live were really easy to get when they'd been previously almost impossible to get most years since the show had existed. And then this New York Magazine story came out. The story was by Chris Smith, and the headline was How Saturday Night Live Became a Grim Joke. And it went into great detail with interviews with cast members and writers who described this cutthroat, unfun atmosphere. It had some executives saying some negative things about Lorne Michaels. Some other cast members were saying that it was too much of like a frat atmosphere and that women cast members were not treated well. Sarah Jessica Parker, who hosted the show once that year, was quoted in the piece saying she just did not find it to be a very friendly atmosphere at all. And one of the quotes that was used that really encapsulated the whole piece was saying that it felt like Saturday Night Live was in this deep spiritual funk. So because this was 1995, traditional media still had like a huge role, and it led to a ton of different think pieces in newspapers across the country, essentially suggesting that Saturday Night Live could very well be at its end. Executives started to lash out at Lorne Michaels. Lorne Michaels lashed out back at them. It was rumored that CBS and ABC were trying to come up with their own Saturday night type programmings and maybe even try to hire away Lorne Michaels. But Michael stayed, and he just got rid of almost everyone on the cast. There were 17 cast members that year, including Adam Sandler and Chris Farley, and all but five of them were either fired or left on their own accord, including Chris Farley and Adam Sandler, who were both fired. And Lorne Michaels came in and he replaced them with a brand new cast that was really high energy. People like Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, Sherry O'Terry. It was more or less like a full scale reload, and one of the most important ones in the show's history. That season of 1995-96 was punctuated by an episode where Jim Carrey hosted, which is considered one of the greatest episodes of all time. It featured him in a Spartans sketch with Sherry O'Terry and Will Ferrell, and in a Night at the Roxbury sketch with Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell. And, you know, SNL has had a lot of ups and downs, obviously, since then, over the last 30 years. But it was really that 1995 when it was really at its breaking point, but managed to survive, and now it's 50 years old.